I am Rosy, the Dream Arc Guide, and since the Dream Arc course was launched, so many people have asked us what they should do with scary dreams or nightmares. And of course, there's no one answer, right? And it can take time and a combination of intention, imagination, courage, and patience, and playfulness and surrender for the true meaning and gift of our scary dreams to be revealed to us. You know, there are so many ways for us to look at scary dreams. Sometimes they reflect our subconscious personal fears. Other times they might reflect a past trauma or a response to what's actually happening collectively, or a cellular memory of something that happened eons ago, or a need to process all of the frightening things that we're constantly absorbing and consuming on a day-to-day basis via the news or the television, or even less than healthy food. I've also found that sometimes scary dreams can reflect something, a fear, an emotion, an experience that we're psychically picking up from the people or environments around us. Now, on a rare occasion, they can reflect real-life premonitions. You know, with so much palpable fear in the air these days, it's not hard to imagine worst-case scenarios when we're sleeping or awake for ourselves, for our loved ones, and for the planet. Though usually I don't start with literal interpretations of my dreams. You know, there's usually much more juice when I open up to their symbolic potential. Now, the Dream Arc invites us to trust that even our most frightening dreams have the potential to help us in some way. Just like the fear keys of the Dream Arc Animal Codex that was written by Richard Rudd, and those are the underworld creatures, scary dreams can wake us up. They can bring us soul-nourishing information. They can uncover shadow material in need of our attention and invite transformation and healing into our waking lives. Often more important than the actual events taking place in our dreams are the feelings that they conjure up in us. Of course, if your scary dream includes one or more animals in it, we recommend that you go to the Dream Arc Animal Codex if you have access to it and look for clues and insights about what hidden messages your dream animals may be bringing to you. Now, even if your dream doesn't include animals, you can still use the Animal Codex if you have access to it. You can hold the dream in your awareness and the intention of better understanding its significance, and then you can consult the Fear Key Oracle. And just trust that whatever underworld creature pops up for you is exactly the one that you need to begin unwrapping the hidden gift of your dream. Remember, too, to allow your intuition and imagination to support your process. So let's say you have a dream about you're being chased, right? But you don't remember who or what's chasing you. So ask yourself, if my chaser reminded me of an animal, what animal would it be? And allow the feelings during the dream or upon awakening to inform your answer. The feeling of being chased by a lion or a slithery snake or an angry 8-armed octopus, right? They're all completely different. Now, an entire dream can feel like an animal encounter, even if there isn't a single animal in it. Like you could say, I wake up and I feel like I've been trampled by a stampede of elephants. Or I feel like I'm being eaten by a school of piranha. You get the idea. Now, sharing about your dream, even if you just remember a tiny little bit of it with somebody that you trust, or writing it down in your journal through a drawing or a poem or creative expression, can be really helpful. It can help you remember more of your dream, process your feelings about it, draw parallels between what's happening in your dream and what's been happening in your waking life, and it can help sharpen your intuition and your sense of what your dream may actually be trying to tell you. So, for example, you might ask yourself questions like, is my dream telling me that it's time to face something that I've been denying? Is it telling me that it's time to set a healthy boundary? Is it telling me that it's time to acknowledge where I felt powerless or envious or guilty? Is it inviting me to integrate a previously forbidden quality, to take a leap out of my comfort zone, to let go of control? Sharing your scary dreams with a person who can really hear you with an open mind and heart and who doesn't fall into the trap of showering you with their own analysis and interpretations, which can be very tempting, can be really helpful. And shift any stuck energy that you might have in relationship to that dream. Now, there are some people who feel very drawn to the art of lucid dreaming. A dream is lucid when we know that we're dreaming while we're dreaming, right? So with practice, we can learn to take charge of how we respond to or influence what's happening in our dreams, even frightening ones. So instead of running away from a mountain lion, for example, we can remember that we're dreaming, turn around, face the mountain lion, and stop it in its tracks with the force field shooting out of the palm of our hands. Or we can engage in a friendly conversation with it. The possibilities are limitless. This sort of lucid dreaming, where we directly interact with our unconscious fears, can be deeply healing. We can face inner demons, change psychological patterns, transform our relationships, and become much more compassionate and understanding of ourselves. It's a whole spiritual art form that some people devote their whole lives to. But you do not have to be a lucid dreamer in order to get the benefits of lucid dreaming. The process of active imagination, which was brought into the field of psychology by Carl Jung, allows us to bring lucidity to our dreams while we're awake. And this is a practice in its own right, to continue the dream upon awakening, whether we do it in our mind or in our journal or through our art. We can literally rewrite scary dreams in a way that empowers us and ends well. If we really engage our inner child and our imagination, we may find that there are countless ways to transmute or change our frightening dreams into stories of heroism, healing, and delight and humor. And of course, if you're having recurring nightmares and none of the above is working, I encourage you to reach out to somebody that you trust or who has experience supporting people through traumatic or post-traumatic experiences for support.